What's up, guys? MrGimms back again for dev Q&A sort of breakdown response video, sort of just going through some of the things they said, some of the things that pissed us off, some of the things that made us happy. Overall, this is the sort of thing, sort of disappointment is the sort of thing that you get used to when you watch these dev streams. I didn't have high hopes that, things would be answered to our sort of need, because right now we really need something good to come out of these devs, and this was sort of just there was a lot of back padding as usual. I talk about that quite a lot in videos, just how they're all laughy, having a good time, I guess, because positive vibes and all that crap. But it's just, the thing is, the game isn't positive right now. I've been playing the killer tonight, I've been playing the twins tonight on my own, and sort of obviously on my own. And yeah, it's riddled with bugs. There's a lot of bad things in there, and not even that, but just Survivor as well, like just these lag spikes that you'll get all of a sudden. It's just very odd stuff. But overall, the game's pretty broken right now. It's in the worst state it's ever had, it's ever been in. But anyway, guys, we're gonna break this down, go through it all together, and see what we can all make of it as the DBD fans that we are. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you like this video and you like to stay up to date with DBD content. And if you want more of a sort of a critical, intelligent sort of critique on Dead by Daylight, not just a nonsensical, glad-handing yes men drone, which, not gonna point at anyone for that, but yeah, they are definitely out there. A lot of them. Anyway, guys, let's break this down.
Now let's address the elephant in the room. McLean, please.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'd like to just to say that our last release did launch with a higher than normal number of issues related to the new content, and our team is hard at work fixing the problems for follow-up patches, which are coming to you as soon as possible.
Yes.
Right, so right off the bat, obviously, he says that there's above normal amount of bugs in this DLC, chapter 18 with the twins. No, sir. This is above average. This was nowhere near completion. Later on, you sort of harp on about, there was two characters, so there was two sets of animation that, animations that needed to be done. Just with the twins alone, I can understand that. I can totally get that. That's why you delay chapters, and it might be a case of, obviously COVID's affected your development, and if it were, we would understand, just like Terrico said in his last video. So just giving us an excuse, a reasonable excuse is what I'm looking for. Unfortunately, my question on Twitter, and I know I'm not the all-important person who gets their questions answered, but my question was, why was Chapter 18 released incomplete, and is this something we should expect in future releases? That question was dodged completely. Any question surrounding why it happened is completely ignored. So I just want to, make sure your expectations are in order for this video. So that's really unfortunate, because there is actually no reason given why it wasn't delayed. So the only thing that I can think of, and in my opinion it's confirmed up here, is greed. They just wanted a money shot, a quick injection, just like they always do. Hence the cosmetics dropping on the same day, which I think is absolutely disgusting. But anyway, let's move on.
Can you show the results or stats of the Bloodlust experiment? So we don't have a fancy graph to show, but it's basically more or less the same one we show lately in the previous stream. Who's taken that one?
Well, I did find one thing when I was looking around in the numbers. The very first thing when I was looking into it, I was really curious, how did that weekend without Bloodlust compare to the weekend before? And there was like a 1 to 2% difference in kill rates. But just digging a little bit further, I actually realized that the real anomaly was the weekend I was looking at there, because Bloodlust weekend was actually very similar to other weekends in terms of kill rates. If anybody has a good fan theory as to why the weekend before the Bloodlust test weekend was killier than average, please share. I would love to. Yeah, I would love to hear your theories.
Yeah, it's a good question. Unfortunately, it's not answered at all, really. With a 1 or 2% difference from the weekend before. And even Not Queen says it herself, oh, we don't have a nice fancy graph for you or something like that. Like, it's something like upper echelon or something like that to get a graph. Every business has graphs, and we'll go back to this later because you did supply graphs or stats, if you will, later on with another statistic, which I don't give two shits about. So that's interesting. But yeah, this question was completely ignored and really just subverted in general, wasn't it? So anyway, let's move on.
Are there any steps being taken to reduce the grind?
We're aware that the grind is kind of nuts. It's not as nuts as it was when we shipped, and when our now departed economic designer let us have 2 perks per blood web, that helped a lot, but we know that there's still more work to be done. We have some ideas that we're working on, but there's nothing imminent, so I can't really discuss anything at this time, but do know that we are aware and there are plans in the works to address it.
Sweet, thanks. That was a good answer. Yeah, the game's changed, so you're going to evolve around it, and you're going to, you're looking into it. So that's great. That's a good answer. I don't expect you to leave a detailed response with everything you're going to do. I understand that things change and things come up. Great answer. I like this one.
Will Decisive Strike get a rework or a change? That's been asked a lot of times.
Yeah, it's definitely a contentious perk. I think it generates a lot of discussion. People who haven't been around since it came out might not know that this perk has already undergone quite a few iterations. I guess it's not perfect yet, so this is still something that we talk about fairly frequently. We don't have any conclusions to share about it. We would like to do something about the more abusive side of it. I think one of the things that gets people upset with Decisive Strike are players who use it as only kind of an invincibility shield to like pester killers, perhaps more than intended. And then of course the other issue is people who view this perk as only an anti-tunneling measure and then feel that it's unfair that they'll get smacked by it by a survivor who's been doing lots of other things in the game, which should, in their mind, sort of tag it as clearly this person was not tunneled. They've done things in the game. I probably shouldn't be affected by Decisive Strike. So we're keeping all of that in mind, and we are discussing possible improvements for this perk.
This was good as well. I mean, how many times are we going to have to change this perk? And yeah, they're right. A lot of people coming into the game now probably don't realize that it has undergone many changes. It is better now where it is. It's still ridiculous, in my opinion, but it is a good perk. Yeah, I don't know what else you could really, I don't think it should be on the top list of priorities for me. I think it is in a comfortable place personally. Right now, I think changes could be done, but yeah, it's just like, how many times do we have to fix this one, bloody perk? It's pretty ridiculous. Just one man's opinion, though.
Are there any other killers that will be getting any changes soon?
Well, we've already talked about Clown, and that Clown is going to be getting the next update. It's soon, but we haven't announced a release date for it yet. The Huntress is getting an add-on pass. She's the last killer remaining with an incorrect number of the different rarities perks. Notably, she's only got 1 iridescent. We're going to take care of that. As usual, 2 releases after the Twins ship, there will be an adjustment like we did with the Blight. Soon afterward, in this release, there were a couple of Blight updates. I highly recommend trying the new Soul Chemical add-on. I had a lot of fun with that last night.
Soul Chemical is a lot better than it reads on paper. It works.
It works exactly the way it should. But we can announce who's probably getting an update next, and that is Demogorgon. It's not going to be a major update. We're pretty happy with the idea of having Shred on one hand and the portals on the other hand. It's just going to be a fine-tuning pass and probably an add-on pass, just check over a few things. But on the whole, his gameplay is working quite well. We just want to give him some extra power and tweak some things.
I want to say that chat is not letting me down here. I can see all the demo in the chat, and I'm very happy about this. Thank you for showing up. All right.
Should
Louis,
we tease about this other little thing that's here?
Yeah, go ahead, Louis.
This is not like a big killer rework or anything, but there are a couple of tweaks coming to the Wraith as well. I'm not even going to get too deep into it. I'll just leave the small tease of true invisibility is something that may or may not be happening, and I'll just let you guys chew on that one.
I'm not sure if this answered the question of when the Twins is going to be finally viable in the game. He did just say it's going to be like the Blight and it's going to be like 2 releases after, so I really hope I'm not reading into that wrong or whatever, and they're going to fix it 2 months down the road or 3 months down the road, because that would be pretty preposterous if I'm being honest. So, however, I'm pretty excited about the Demogorgon. He definitely needs some changes and adjustments, and definitely an add-on pass, because everything really sucks apart from brown add-ons, which is really odd. So yeah, this is good. This is cool. Demogorgon, man. Totally cool with that. Yeah, and the tease with the Wraith. Absolutely awesome. True invisibility. I'm totally down for that. See, there are positive things in the dev stream. Don't get me wrong. They are, pandering and sort of, trying to say they are doing some cool stuff. And no doubt they are. But I think this was a lot of damage control as well, to sort of shut us up and go like, oh, okay, well, we learned something from the Q&A or whatever. So, yeah, good changes, great things coming. Excited about it, but we're still living in a broken game right now, so let's get to it, eh?
Killers who didn't receive a map at lunch, get them after the graphical update is complete, like the Twins or the Blight.
Unfortunately, we don't have any plans at the moment to add new maps for previously released characters. Although I certainly understand the desire. These are some cool characters, I agree.
Yeah, we got a lot of maps as it is. I didn't really care either way for this one. They announced it on DLC release that there's not going to be a new map and this is going to be reworked. So, if you think a map's coming, then I'd say you're going to be, let down on that one. To be fair, they've done a lot of work in terms of maps. Yeah, they're not perfect. I totally agree with that as well. But, yeah, they never said there was going to be new maps with these DLCs and stuff like that. So, however, pretty confident the next DLC is going to have a map. Pretty damn confident.
Is asking, will there be more changes to Twins besides those announced?
As usual, on the next killer release, we will do a revisit of the Twins. We have to give them a couple months of play time for people to learn how they work, for survivors to adjust for their play styles, and give a little time for a couple of iterations of people and players figuring out how these things work before we can make informed decisions about how we might want to change things. So you can expect that in the next full chapter release, there will be some tweaks and updates to the Twins 10.
Yeah, completely disagree with this one. So he's going to give us time to test the Twins, and hopefully, we figure out that it's not broken or that there is a strat with it. There is a strat going around about the Twins, and probably the biggest outcome from how top tier players using the Twins as a camping killer, and that's really unfortunate. And I do agree with Scott Jund on his latest video that I don't think that's healthy for the game. I think that's a negative place, and I didn't think she'd be put in that field, you know what I mean? I think we could have been a little bit more intuitive with it, but what works is what works, isn't it? So, and just him reading off a script, man. Elmo, I don't know, dude. I get it that you got to prepare and stuff like that, but it would just feel a little bit more personal if you were just talking to us like I'm doing now. There's no script here. There's nothing going on. It's me, a camera, and a mic. Come on, guys, connect with your fans.
Will we ever see at least a fix for FPS drops? So this question was specifically mentioning FPS drops lag spikes when status effects appear or when items are looted from a chest. So that's the question.
Yeah, so we do have a fix for the performance drop when looting a chest. I believe that one actually went out in 4.4. These are things that we're looking into. There has been on certain platforms there is a noticeable stutter when status effect icons appear for the first time. It's a known issue that we also have in our backlog. So yes, this issue and other issues like it are pretty high on our priority list for improving performance.
Yeah, and to manage expectations here, like issues that are specific to moments like this, like FPS drops when a status effect appear. That's a possible thing that we can look into, but just general FPS loss, that's very vague for a question that we can't like promise like you're never gonna expect to have an FPS drop ever again. So yeah, we're obviously targeting some issues that we know causes that, but that's not a a blanket statement saying we're gonna fix FPS drop all the time. So just managing expectations here.
I don't have time for this one. Yeah, year in year 4 fix FPS. Don't try to subvert expectations or increase expectations. fix your game. Yeah, you're getting a lot of money per year. FPS is pretty much universally unacceptable out of the gate of beta, alpha, whatever. Get your game sorted, guys. Get your frontline stuff, your basic game design features fixed. No excuse.
What are plans on making the Rift easier to max out?
Yeah, so we are looking into some other methods for earning progression in the Rift, but there's nothing yet concrete enough that I can announce today. But we're on it.
Cool. Good answer. Look forward to it. There's a lot of filler in the Rift. A lot of people have talked about that. Your charms are just recolored messes, and yeah, they look cool, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there's too many charms. Let's try to, knuckle down and give the customers what they want in a battle pass, just like every other game. Well, sorry, Rift.
Any update on fixing the Blight's point of view?
Yes. We have a version internally that we've been testing. It's raised his camera up a bit and pulled it back a little so he's not like seeing through things. And it's really good, but it's not 100% ready yet, and we can't really announce when it's going to be released. But it's almost there, and it will be sooner rather than later. Like, you're not going to have to wait a year for this update. It'll be sooner than that.
Cool. As a Blight main, one of my characters that I main, I'm really excited about this. And you know what? They fixed this sooner than I thought. Obviously, a lot of people think that, you just raise the camera, but Almo's right in this case. Like, in basic game design, if you raise the camera, you're not going to see his hands or his weapon or whatever is better. So they've got to change things. They've got to animate new things. It's a bit of a process. But they've actually done this quicker than I thought, considering they had a DLC to work on. So I'm pretty happy with that one, to be fair.
The licensed characters will be part of the character model updates as well.
Yep, they will be getting the same treatment as other characters. With them being licensed, we do have to go to the IP owners and check any updates with them to be sure, but we are updating those as well.
Yeah, cool. Super excited for this. Yeah, obviously a lot of people, and I need to back up behavior on this one, is a lot of people blame behavior for sort of the lack of license things that we get in the game, like cosmetics, outfits, updates, all that sort of stuff. Honestly, it's down to the owner of the IP. It's down to the licensee, so it's actually got nothing to do with behavior. Every single time they do something, even let it be a tiny little modification in the writing or something like that with perks and updates, I'd imagine they'd have to go to the original IP owner, check off that it's okay first. So you got this backward and forwards communication that can take time. So I am looking forward to this, and it's kind of cool that Quentin, which probably is the highlight here, is going to get an update. So cool. That's positive stuff.
When can we expect the new maps again?
Soon.
Soon what?
Soon trademark.
Yeah, pretty much answered what I said already. Yeah, I have a feeling the next license is the next DLC is a license anyway. So the fact that he answered really confidently there pretty much tells me that it's coming with a license and there has to be a map for it. So it's not an option to rework maps on the next DLC, which tells me it's probably because it's licensed. This is just a guess on my behalf though, okay? Yeah?
Can we get a teaser for the changes coming to the clown? So the answer is
Yes.
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 Personally, I don't know what I'm seeing here. I'm pretty excited for a clown buff though. And I'm extremely pleasantly happy that they showed sort of something that they're working on. To me, it looks like the clown may be working on different things. Like he might be working on different powers. Maybe his bottles do something different now. He's got a variety of different things because you saw the pink and then you saw the orangey yellow, whatever. So that's really cool. I'm really excited for that. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so unfortunately, this is unlikely. The PTB, we have a lot of leeway because we're hosting this on Steam. Including consoles in the loop would really slow the process down and shorten the amount of time that we have to fix issues between PTB and live. These are crucial weeks, and that's why we use Steam. It's faster for turnaround. Consoles are still included in any live testing that we do, such as the Bloodlust experiment that we did a couple of weekends ago. And sometimes we can even test things exclusively on a certain platform or region, like the MMR system, for example. So to wrap that up, that's probably no on PTB, but yes on other kinds of live testing.
I'm glad they finally officially answered this one, because I get a lot of people messaging me and giving me hate on my how to access PTB videos that I do on here on YouTube. And it is down to the license again. PlayStation being one of the tightest companies in the world, Microsoft not too far behind, but yeah, they got to go get, you know, the rights and stuff like that, and this back and forth communication again, and that just takes too much time. Whereas Steam is a lot more linear, a lot more clean, and they just get to the nitty gritty of it. That's where the game came from. That's where the game, you know, originates. It's where it's made its home since, and you know, everything else is just a bonus. I mean, I think we should all take a moment and just be happy that we can play on consoles. I think that's a really cool thing, and when cross progression does come, you'll be even, you know, happier for it. So yeah, you know, I can understand completely what they're talking about. I've answered this question for them on my streams and my videos, but it's good that they've put it in a Q&A, and now we all have the answer. So hopefully, you know, the people that are getting pissy and stuff like that, they can just back off. I don't think it's going to happen, like you said.
Luminous is asking, y'all got more of those stats. So we actually do. Them's our stats. We actually have those stats. We see you.
Those sure are some stats.
We
Whoa.
see you.
Only 26%? I'm surprised it's that low.
It's also worth noting that, like, teabagging is also a way that survivors say thank you to each other, or, you know,
yeah,
communicate with friends.
Yeah, like, come heal me. No, I got to work on this generator. No, heal me. No, I'm working on this generator. Heal me.
Still, shame on you if you're being toxic.
It's those mobile players who are bringing down the teabagging stats. We need a dedicated teabag button on mobile.
Interestingly, though, we have seen that the numbers of teabag per match decreases in red rank. So maybe people are actually too busy trying to escape with their life. So, yes, we had stats. You're welcome.
Yeah, I don't care about those stats. I don't care about how many teabags are in a match. If you're going to take the piss out of something that people actually want, then I'm not interested in... Yeah, I don't know what this was. There's a lot of ego in this company, and these kind of, you know, funny things. And I get it, positive vibes and all that crap, but come on. Just take your job seriously for a second. We don't want to see how many teabags are in a match. Haha, it's very funny, cool. Let's get some actual stats, yeah? Cool.
The King Twitch on Twitter is asking, is there any update on Key and Ormori changes? And is there an ETA you're able to give us?
You are muted.
Yeah, you're muted.
I did the old thing. Sorry. The answer to the first question is yes. The answer to the second question is no.
So first question was update on Key and Ormori. Yes. Second question was ETA. No. So thank you, Louis.
Anyone else with this one? So what's the update? He said yes to the update and no to the ETA. What happened here?
Twitter, when will we see a LGBTQ plus character in Dead by Daylight? So we have addressed this in interviews lately. It's still coming. We're committed to this. For us, representation is very important. And when we do add a LGBTQ plus character in the game, we want to be careful that we are doing it right. We don't want to create characters that are tokens. We don't want to be just flashing that like that. For us, it should be fully fledged out character that are not defined solely by their sexuality or gender. So, also a note from our creative director, this will always take place in the past. There was no time for romance or sexuality in the entity's realm. So, all right. So that was our answer for this.
Yeah, I was hesitant to include this one because I'm not sure how I feel about it fully. First of all, I'll get it out of the way. I don't care if there's an LGBTQ. Sorry, I mix it up sometimes. Plus character in the game. I don't care if that's what wants to happen. I don't know how I feel about everybody on this whole representation bandwagon that started to develop. I guess as a member of that community, you would want it, because I guess I'm here saying I don't get it, and I guess I have representation that there's a white male in it. I don't know. That's just very odd to me. I don't care about sexuality and stuff like that when I play video games, but I guess some people do. So I guess for those people, this is cool and this is good news, and that I'm totally fine with that. But I just think we need to tread carefully, and I did like the way Not Queen actually talked about this particular subject. She was a little bit, we have to do it right. It has to make sense. It has to fit the story and all that stuff. I get what she's doing there. She's just, you got to be very careful, because people get extremely offended very easily nowadays. 2020 is, certainly proved that. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the DVD Q&A. There are a lot of cool things in here. They addressed the clown. They showed a brief snippet of the clown rework. They told us that the Wraith's going to have true invisibility. Demigorgon is going to get a rework. That's really cool. I'm really excited for that. And they addressed some other things around, FPS and, other things. There was a lot of back padding as well, and I deleted a lot of the Q&A because there was a lot of, just cat patting and laughing and positive vibes and stuff. And, making jokes about stats with teabags and stuff like that, that's going to piss people off, man. That's going to piss people off. But overall, I think it answered some things, and I really hope they fix this chapter sooner rather than later. I think they need to go on full damage control mode at the moment, and hopefully we can all get past this as a company and all have learnt from everything in the last 4 or 5 months, and we push forward as a community. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed my breakdown, my opinions. That's why I made this, take it or leave it, whatever. Leave your comments down below what you guys think of some of the questions, or what you think of the feedback and things like that. I really wish they had addressed why it was pushed out so quickly. I know it's obvious to most people, to most sensible people, that it was a reason of greed. But it would have been nice if they had just, I don't know what I was looking for. Maybe an apology. Don't know. But yeah, not too happy with them right now. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. See you later.